the neck is separate. I'm going to do the neck at the very last thing, but I'll incorporate a little bit of this thoracolumbar movement now. So when I have a patient who I want to make sure that they have some motion through here, you have to bring their legs, up. Okay, so again, I don't want you to help. Okay, so when you guys do this with your patients, the person laying down, pretend your limbs weigh 100 pounds, whatever it is. Let the person doing it feel the full weight of your limb. Okay, it's our job to come in and be able to manipulate the limbs and position our body so we don't hurt ourselves. And I have to bring her limbs up, and now I have to support her in a position where I can work on, I'm going to do flexion. So you can see how I'm using my body and my body mechanics. Okay, so I'm shifting weight back and forth. And then when I'm here, I may work on some rotation. All right, so trunk rotation, trunk flexion is something you guys can do very easily in the supine position. All right, when you get to the hip, so what are the motions of the hip joint? Somebody call them out.
Flexion, extension, rotation, and adaptation.
Okay, so flexion is something that you can easily achieve in this position here. You flex up. Okay, now, if someone has labral problems, the femoral head is you ticklish?
A little. Not bad.
The femoral, the break ice, you can always tickle your patient and laugh a little bit, but the femoral head can rotate around that acetabular socket the same way a humeral head will rotate around the glenoid. If you got any kind of labral tear, it could cause pain. So, or instability. So you got to be careful when you do this. You can also get femoral acetabular impingement syndrome. So you don't want to just jam right down and say, oh, okay, that could hurt too much. So it's very gentle. 1. Here's my speed. 2. 3. And she's not helping me, actually. So I'm controlling the complete weight of her leg. So from here, I next go into rotation. So some people like to do it like this. The orthopedic surgeon, I go in his office and shadow him now and then. When he assesses rotation of the leg, he puts his hands down here and he does this. This is how he wants to see that rotation. Okay? He wants that knee joint extended. That's more of a functional way. So that's one way you can do rotation for your patient. Another way, I like this way better, especially for treatment, is I hold the leg, I have it supported, okay? So all I'm doing is this, okay? So all I'm doing is rotating my spine, and I'm holding the weight of her leg cradled in my arm. And you feel comfortable? So she should feel like I'm doing all the work, I'm supporting the limb. If I go further, I'll stretch. If I go further, I'll stretch. Of the two, you can get away with bringing somebody more into external rotation than internal. Most people are tighter in internal rotation. So you got to be careful that you don't push hard. That could stretch somebody too much. So it's just, again, whether you want to use one hand free to guide your hand on the femur, or whether you want to just cup here and just turn your spine. As I turn, I can feel limitation. I can feel her limitation.
Is that proper body mechanics since you're rotating though?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The question is that proper body mechanics since I'm rotating? Okay, so why is it permissible for us as therapists to stand like this and rotate?
As long as you're not bent over.
Yeah, exactly. So we're not doing this. We're not bending over forward, and we're not combining the flexion, rotation with a load. The weight of a person's leg is a load. However, in this position here, my hips are contracted, my quads are contracted, my core is tight, and I'm just moving this. If you look at my feet, Regina, if you can kind of look how I'm turning, I'm kind of weight shifting, you know, and I'm pivoting my knee to protect my knee joint and my spine as I'm doing this. Okay? You could combine hip and knee together. You can see how I'm bringing her heel down, or you could just do now knee flexion. But whatever I do, my hand, something has to be underneath her knee joint. Because if she's coming down into extension and I take my hand away and the weight of her leg falls, I can snap her ligament. She's not going to be very happy. Okay? So you gotta support the knee. When you get down to the ankle, you want actually, when we start, everybody should take their shoes off. So cupping the ankle, you could take your hand, guys, and you can put it right around the calcaneus like this. Her foot is going against my forearm. So now, it's just simply this. Very easy, okay? Or you could when you do the ankle range, make sure that their heel is free. And when you do, and for some people, you don't want to let them go into genial recurvatum, because that's going to be too much. So her knee joint is okay, it's supported okay. If I'm worried my hand can go here, and here's what I'm doing, I'm just going up and down. Flexion, or dorsiplantar, and then in eversion, inversion, eversion. So get a feel for that, okay, on how your hands are positioned. And then I do want you guys just to spend just a little bit of time doing this. The reason why is because this great toe, the lack of movement of this great toe affects a person's gait and their ability to run and so forth. The more dorsiflexion the great toe has, the better push-off, the better mechanics of running, jumping, walking, and so forth. So in our therapy sessions, sometimes we are working a lot on great toe movement. Okay? So again, same thing as you did with the fingers, down, up, up. Okay? Hip, knee, ankle, toes, and then trunk rotation.